the abominable snow minion of Frostbite Peak. It was the coldest winter ever, and the minions were bored. Stuck inside their secret lair, they had already tried everything. Banana, juggling, fart gun, target practice, and even competitive napping. Just as Kevin was about to declare a staring contest champion, Stuart burst in, shivering, but with a wild look in his eyes. He held up a crumpled, ancient-looking map. It showed a path up the treacherous Frostbite Peak, and at the very top, a drawing of a giant, glowing banana. The legendary Frosty Banana. The minions erupted in cheers. A quest. An adventure. But their excitement was cut short when Gru snatched the map. He warned them about the mountain's terrifying secret, the abominable snow minion. Legend said it was a massive, furry beast that roamed the peaks, jealously guarding the frosty banana. Its roar could cause avalanches, and its favorite snack, small, yellow, banana-loving creatures. Undeterred, Kevin, Stuart, and Bob decided they had to try. They packed their warmest overalls, a grappling hook made of licorice, and, of course, a small banana for emergencies. As they began their climb, the wind howled like a hungry wolf. The path was icy and narrow, with a steep drop on one side. Bob, who was at the back, suddenly slipped. He tumbled down the slope, spinning like a yellow bowling ball. Kevin and Stuart watched in horror as Bob slid faster and faster towards the edge of a cliff. Just as he was about to go over, his tiny boot caught on a stubborn root. He was dangling over a 1,000-foot drop, holding on by a thread. Thinking fast, Kevin uncoiled the licorice grappling hook. He swung it around his head and let it fly. It soared through the air, but the wind was too strong. It missed Bob completely and snagged on a giant icicle instead. Stuart, panicking, started blowing his emergency party horn, hoping the noise would scare away any danger. But instead, the loud honking caused the giant icicle to crack. It was about to fall right on top of Bob. The icicle broke free with a loud snap. It plunged downwards. Miraculously, it didn't hit Bob. It hit the ledge just below him, creating a small snowdrift that cushioned his fall as the root finally gave way. He was safe, but now he was stuck on a tiny ledge far below them. As Kevin and Stuart tried to figure out a new plan, they heard a low, guttural growl echoing from a cave just above them. The sound was so deep, it vibrated in their chests. Slowly, two enormous, glowing blue eyes opened in the darkness of the cave. A huge, white, furry hand reached out, its claws glistening in the faint light. The abominable snow minion was real, and it was right there. The beast let out a thunderous roar that shook the entire mountain. Stuart fainted instantly, falling face first into the snow. Kevin stood frozen, his one eye wide with terror. The snow minion took a step out of its cave, revealing its massive size. It was 10 times bigger than a normal minion. The giant creature ignored the fainted Stuart and the petrified Kevin. It looked down the cliff, right at Bob. It seemed to be sniffing the air. Then it did something unexpected. It reached down with its giant paw, not to attack, but to gently scoop Bob up from the ledge. It brought the tiny minion up to its face and looked at him curiously. Bob, trembling, held out his emergency banana as a peace offering. The snow minion's fearsome expression suddenly softened. It took the banana with surprising gentleness and peeled it with a single claw. Instead of eating it, the snow minion held it up to its ear like a phone and started speaking in a deep, rumbling voice. Bedro, Papagania. It was trying to talk to the banana. The fearsome beast wasn't a monster at all. It was just lonely. It had been guarding the frosty banana for so long, it had forgotten how to talk to anyone. Seeing this, Kevin and the newly revived Stuart climbed down to join them. The snow minion, who they now called Fluffy, was overjoyed to have new friends. It happily led them up the rest of the mountain, easily clearing the path with its huge paws. At the summit, they found it, the frosty banana. It wasn't just big. It was glowing with a magical, warm light, melting all the snow around it and creating a cozy, tropical paradise at the top of the frozen mountain. But as they reached for the banana, the ground began to shake violently. The entire peak of the mountain started to crack and crumble. The frosty banana wasn't just a fruit. It was the heart of the volcano that Frostbite Peak was built on. By getting so close, they had disturbed its ancient magic. The volcano was about to erupt, and they were standing right on top of it. Lava began to bubble up from the cracks around them. Fluffy, the snow minion, acted fast. It grabbed the frosty banana and with a mighty heave, threw it far away into a deep, snow-filled valley. The magical banana's warmth was instantly extinguished by the deep snow, and the volcano's rumbling stopped. The eruption was averted, but now the peak was unstable and breaking apart. They had to get down and fast. Fluffy grabbed Kevin, Stewart, and Bob, tucked them safely into its furry chest, and slid down the mountain like a giant, furry sled. They zoomed down the slopes, dodging falling rocks and newly opened crevasses. It was the fastest, most terrifying, and most exciting of the days. They landed in a soft pile of snow at the bottom of the mountain, safe and sound. They had failed to bring back the frosty banana, but they had found something much better, a new, giant, furry friend. From that day on, winter was never boring again. They spent their days having epic snowball fights with Fluffy, who could throw 100 snowballs at once, and their nights listening to his rumbling stories about the lonely mountain. And sometimes, just sometimes, they would all try to call the bananas on their ears, hoping to hear a friendly bell in return. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Minion adventures.